right, good day. Ted here, Big Goofy Runner. Catch-up video. I haven't done a video in quite some time here. June 2022 is the last one, so is that 10 months ago? So, yeah, no, not 10, 9 months. Math hard. So yeah, Ted here, Big Goofy Runner, and this is March 19th, 2023. March 19th is a bit of a significant day in the last few years. Today marks the 3-year anniversary of the first day I worked fully from home for work for the pandemic stuff. And yeah, I did that for over 2 years, right? But yeah, today marks kind of the anniversary of that. And tomorrow is 4 full years that I've done chin-ups every morning. So there's some significant stuff right around these couple days here. So yeah, I figured it'd be a good time to kind of do a video. I've also bought some equipment recently that I want to play with and just test them out. Yeah, I convinced myself I wanted them for doing blogging and vlogging and things like that. And now I should try and use them. So yeah, my wireless microphone. I've got an S23, brand new phone, replacing an S10 that we had 3 years ago. We actually got them about a week before we locked down with the pandemic. So yeah, so new phone, new cameras, do a little bit of playing with a little bit of vlogging and things like that. And yeah, just kind of put it up there and just kind of talk about where things are going and how things are. So yeah, yeah, what's been going on in the last 10 months or so? 9 months, I guess, right? Is the math we really did. So yeah, as I said, tomorrow will be 4 full years of doing chin-ups, push-ups, and dips, tricep dips every day. I do them every morning before I go to work. So it's usually I'm feeding the dogs and I go do them just to get them done. There was a period in there where I did a couple different sets. I do it in the morning and in the evening, that kind of stuff. But now it's I just do like one set of 8 to 10 every morning before I go to work. So yeah, after 4 years, you might expect I'd be doing more than that, but I think I started doing 2 or 3 is best I could do. So 8 to 10 is definitely an improvement, but I didn't do them to see, how many can I do? And I haven't done it in such a way that I'm trying to continuously improve and increase the number. The exercise here is to force myself to do something like on schedule, have something that I can commit to and that I'm doing, because that is kind of where I'm falling down on running and have fallen down for running for years and years and years. So being able to have something that I can point to and going, okay, I can keep a schedule. I can do these kind of things. So that's what that's all there for. I also have been doing a plank every day I'm over 600 days now on planks every day. Again, not huge numbers, maybe 1.5 to 2 minutes, somewhere in there every day. But it's just a matter of doing it. I do that before bed, and that one's a little bit tougher to do because by the time I'm going to bed, I don't want anything to do with exercise. I just want to lay down and fall asleep completely. So that one's not bad for basically making sure that I am, in fact, committing to something and doing it. So that's kind of the nice thing there. The other things going on in the last 9 months, it's just a variety of things. We're back doing 2 to 3 days of work at the office and 2 days here at home in general. So that's a little bit interesting. That messes with scheduling. Back when I was working just from home, it was easy to just take what I would call a micro break, stand up, do some light weights, put the weights back down, continue working, that kind of stuff. A little more difficult when I'm in the office. I don't have the weights there. I don't have that kind of stuff. There are things I could do, but it does, I built a habit here that the habit's broken now because of the office split and things like that. So try my best to try and figure out stuff that works. So we do have the Bowflex, so that's kind of nice to be able to use that. It's quick to do a fairly thorough full upper body workout. With the way the pulley systems and the rods work with that, it's very easy to kind of switch from one exercise to another and kind of work, say, the whole arm really quickly without having to change the machine, go pick up a different set of weights, things like that. So it's nice and easy and convenient there. So I've been taking advantage of using it quite frequently. The interesting thing about that, I suspect I put a little bit of muscle back on there because of it. Not necessarily stronger. The power rods just they don't build strength quite the same way as I do, say, in a gym with um, some bigger free weights or some just heavier machines, just lever machines and that kind of stuff. So don't think I'm necessarily getting any stronger, but I definitely can see I'm building muscle and muscle tone and that kind of stuff, working the muscles. So that's good. That's important. Other things going on. I mean, yeah. So my weight was climbing again. So when last time I did one of the vlogs, my weight would have been in the 245, 248 range, something like that. And that was pretty steady right through until January this year, and started doing some stuff in January that would kind of bring it down a little bit. And then I would then have snacks and things like that because of the holiday season, and weight would come up a bit more, things like that. So it was in a spot where I was going in the wrong direction for sure. So started doing some low carb stuff did it for a few weeks. And in that same period, we started basically ripping out and replacing almost all the flooring on our main floor in our house. And the combination of the low carbs and doing 6 to 8 hours of flooring every night for a couple weeks, my weight just went right down nicely. So mid 230s, still in the mid 230s now. It wants to creep up a little bit, but I can kind of keep it under control with a little bit of diet, things like that. But the nice thing about being in the 230s is this is a range where I can generally run with a reduced risk of injury. Once I get to the 240 range, up to the 250 range, obviously, I'm going to be more prone to damage. And as I'm getting older, as the white will show, it's a little harder to recover. And I'm still fighting with my right knee that I've been complaining about for a year and a half, that it will tweak and things like that. But I did run on the treadmill this week without a knee brace. I could tell that the knee wasn't really happy, but it didn't get injured. So that's the real trick. The treadmill, we had some issues with it recently, and we've got it all kind of rebuilt again now, and it's essentially a brand new machine again with what we replaced. So it can take the pounding, and I'm going to be taking advantage of using it. And as long as I can maintain the injury freeness, then that'll be worthwhile. So at this point now, I've seemed to have leveled off again on my weight. And as I said, diet is kind of keeping me level, but I need to get more exercise in to get that weight down again. Because obviously, a proper diet with exercise saw that I can lose weight rapidly, which is what we saw when I was doing the flooring. Because the flooring was a lot of stand up, go cut something, kneel down, put it in, go get another box of stuff. So it was constant movement putting the flooring down. So that's there's a lot of work, or a lot of working of the whole body while I was on a reduced calorie diet plus low carbs. And really, when I'm generally doing that kind of a work, I might have Coke to keep me driving me forward, or a beer or something like that. And both of those, while I was doing low carbs, were pretty much off the table. So it was, I'm sure I got a little dehydrated in there as well, because I was forgetting to drink other stuff. But all good, all valid weight loss, and done relatively healthy, just relatively quick. But now it's continue on the process and see where I can get on the running and stuff. So yeah, I get at the point now where I think about what kind of an event should I do. Manitoba Marathon was the first marathon I did. It's on Father's Day, so in June. So I wouldn't be ready for that for now. But they also have a half marathon event in the marathon. So I could be ready to do a half. I don't know if I want to. There's half marathons in the fall that I could do quite easily, that are local. I wouldn't have to travel for. I don't know if I want to. I'm having trouble convincing myself that I want to do that kind of thing. Yeah, spending more than an hour running is difficult. I'm finding spending more than an hour doing anything is hard on the brain right now. So COVID brain and all that kind of stuff, I'm having trouble focusing on stuff for any length of time. So that's kind of kind of something I'm having to work through on. If I want to get better at running and bring the running back in, I either have to decide, okay, am I going to be able to beat this 1 hour thing in my head? And if I can't, then okay, fine, but I still need to do exercise, running daily. So it means if I can't break hours and I'm not training for a marathon, doing 4 to 5 runs a week, then I should be going more daily, less time, more to just get the mileage up and burn those calories. Just at least in my head, there's no scientific backing on that. That's just the amount of exercise, the amount of calories I figure I want to burn to lose the weight I want to do. That's just kind of where it goes down to. So it's interesting. Still trying to figure that one out, how I'm going to pull that off. As I said, I did run this week, so that's something. Just need to continue on with that. More Bowflex. And yeah, I got to figure out my sleep schedule as well, because I'm generally quite tired lately. And well, we have some issues with our dogs right now that's been stressful, and it's really been impacting my sleep. So that's been a problem. So I mean, I know one of my friends at work, he had indicated that like the time change this year really messed him up, and I barely noticed it because my sleep schedule was so messed up that it was. Did I lose an hour of sleep? I don't know. the extra hour on top of the 4 I was already missing didn't seem like much. That kind of stuff. So I really need to get that sorted. We're dealing with the dogs, of course, trying to figure out the issue we're having with the one pup, and get that all kind of sorted so we can deal through the stress of that. Work is always a stress for me as well. And as I mentioned before, figuring out something that works while I'm in the office some days, at home some days, figuring out a schedule or something I can commit to that just works, where it's not just I'm going to do this at 5 o'clock every day. It doesn't necessarily work, because I might not be quite home or ready to do the thing at 5 o'clock on a day where I'm in the office or things like that. So it's going to take a little bit of playing, a little bit of mental juggling to figure out how I'm going to make this all fit, and go from there. I mean, ideally, what I would love to be able to do is get home from work, do a resistance exercise on the Bowflex, have the heart rate up, then get on the treadmill, do a run, you're done. And then, continue to lose the weight, and then start to commit to some kind of a race or an event in the fall, once I've got the weight even more thoroughly down and I'm in a position to focus on a training plan rather than just having to get something that I can commit to on the regular. So that's the hard part, is committing to an actual plan that I need to follow to make it work properly. Now, plans need to be flexible, but I'm asking, plans to be able to tie it in knots and things like that with the way I work right now. So that's just not gonna fly. I need to get the weight down first. So what's coming? Well, I want to try more of this vlogging stuff, maybe lean it towards almost like a podcast kind of discussion kind of thing, maybe at some point in the future. We'll see how that all goes. But yeah, more of this vlogging kind of thing to kind of talk about where I'm going, what I'm doing, kind of keep things on track, try out some of the toys I've got, things like that, and just kind of build myself up to getting ready to do some more running, more thoroughly, training for some event, that kind of stuff. So I want to talk more about that as we go along. We've also, on the main channel, we have finally got a winter trip booked for next November, going back to Disney. When we go, it's going to be 4 years since we've been in Disney, where we used to go once, twice, 3 times a year. So it's going to be interesting, and a lot of things have changed in the processes and stuff like that. So we're going to have to work through those. We've been kind of keeping an eye on everything, but working and doing it is different than just kind of reading an article on it or something like that. So we want to kind of talk a little bit about that over on the family channel on BiggoofyrUnner and Family. Here I'll do kind of weekly vlogs talking about exercising and things like that. Yeah, I've got to get in the sleep schedule sorted. I got to get more regular on the resistance training, and I got to get the cardio going. But yeah, so we'll see how that all kind of goes. And yeah, hopefully it's all good. Hopefully this is recording nicely. Yeah, so anyway, I'm going to shut this one down. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next week.